welcome to another episode of Disciples Advocate Digest. I'm Chris Dorsey here with Brian Frederick-Gray.
Chris, where are you right now?
Well, as you can see from what's written behind me, I am here at your alma mater, TCU and Bright Divinity School. Yes, indeed. Go ahead and
Okay.
break out the paraphernalia.
In case there was any question, I even got my little frog here with
Oh,
me. But
that's
but why are you at TCU right now, Chris? Yeah.
Well, I'm here for two reasons. One, I'm on the Bright Board of Trustees, and they are having their graduation. But a little bit closer to home, my daughter is graduating from TCU. Yes, go Horned Frogs. This is
Go
the most
frogs,
I've ever seen.
celebration, shout out. Yes, what a great day.
Get on. We got a lot to cover, and
Yes.
it's also a bit of a somber week, somber days. So let's get started.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. We are less than 2 weeks removed from the Supreme Court's decision in Louisiana versus Callais that gutted the Voting Rights Act, and we are already seeing the direct impacts of that decision. On Thursday, May the 7th, Tennessee approved a brand new state electoral map that is going to slice up Memphis in such a way to try to attempt an all GOP federal delegation. We are seeing majority black districts being disappeared right now, being cut up and sliced up in the ways that these gerrymanders happen. South Carolina's state legislature has taken steps this week to eliminate its only majority black district as well. And Mississippi is being pressured to invalidate primary elections that already happened this year so that they can do a mid cycle redistrict that would eliminate its only majority black district.
It's brazen and it's very unhealthy for a diverse democracy like ours. Let me explain a little bit why this is unhealthy. In a democracy, as we know, a majority rules. That always carries a risk when you have particular populations in a democracy that have historically been marginalized. So how that works is that a majority population can pass laws that disenfranchise or discriminate against or basically oppress minority populations. We have seen that here throughout our history. So the majority was able to pass laws like segregation that infringed upon the rights of Black people and said Black people can only go to certain water fountains. They literally passed laws that prevented the minority population from having access to resources and rights that the majority could have. And so part of what we have in the Voting Rights Act is a way of counteracting that tendency, of making sure that we protect the rights of minorities in a context like ours, where a majority can trample over the rights of minorities. It is basically that simple. And what the Supreme Court has done is said, we're not so concerned about minority rights anymore. We really think that majority populations should be able to pass whatever voting restricting laws or whatever gerrymandering maps they want to create. And this is probably one of the most dangerous times for a democracy like ours.
Chris, I know DHM is working on several things on this front right now. So we are preparing right now to record a conversation on voting rights, voter empowerment, and what people can be doing in response. We will have you as a part of that conversation. I'll be moderating the conversation, and it's going to be Dr. Barbara Williams Skinner from Faiths United to Save Democracy who is joining us, as well as the Reverend Dr. Katie Sexton, who is a 2026 The Vote is Sacred Fellow with Interfaith America.
It's kind of an all hands on deck. We really need to show up and we really need to provide as many resources as possible. Last week, DHM also released a statement on the case for the Supreme Court. We hope that everyone will share that either in the text version or the video version, share it with your congregations, with people in your communities. Just really get the word out about what we need to do. It gives us common language and also kind of a rallying cry to keep this work going.
Yeah, and this is a list that's going to keep updating for you, friends. Literally moments before we started recording this, Heber Brown III, a good friend of DHM and our ministries, posted this 5-minute video reflection titled "What the Voting Rights Act Now Gutted: How Can Black Churches Respond?" He particularly highlights organizing political education classes in our churches through a biblical lens. Want to lift up that General Assembly has spoken on this, GA 1337, an emergency resolution concerning the decision of the United States Supreme Court to dismantle the Voting Rights Act, means from 2013. So more than a dozen years ago, General Assembly was warning us about these sorts of things. And want to point folks towards Faith United to Save Democracy. They have poll chaplain and peacekeeper trainings that are going to be coming up throughout the summer and this election cycle.
We've seen this before, and anyone who has not studied history, anyone who doesn't know about the Dred Scott decision, anyone who doesn't know about Plessy versus Ferguson might look at this and just assume that it's innocuous. But we have had disastrous Supreme Court decisions before, and my suspicion is, just like before, this will be right up there with some of the most disastrous Supreme Court decisions we've seen. So stay tuned. We're going to keep talking about this. We're going to keep monitoring it, and we're going to keep getting information about it. So what's our next story, Brian?
Chris, we want to be able to lift up for folks Thursdays in Black. For folks who might not know about it, Thursdays in Black grew out of the World Council of Churches, a decade of churches in solidarity with women. This was 1988 to 1998. And that campaign helped to unearth and emerge these stories of sexual assault as a weapon of war, stories of gender injustice, of abuse, and of violence that became visible through that campaign. But the other thing that really became visible in that campaign was women's resilience, women's agency, and the personal efforts to resist such violations and to transform the world. Thursdays in Black grew out of that. And it's simple and profound. Wear black on Thursdays.
Mm.
Wear a pin to declare yourself. There we go. As
Mm.
part of a global movement that is resisting attitudes and practices that permit sexual assault and gender-based violence, that show your respect for women who are resilient in the face of injustice and encourage others to do so. Close watchers of this video feed can figure out when we are recording on a Thursday, because on those days, both of us are wearing black.
Well,
And,
Brian,
we're recording on any other day.
it's just me wearing black because
That's
that's
right.
yeah, but it is an important thing to do, and it's another place where disciples have spoken out clearly. In 2025, the GA resolution, again, we passed a resolution with a commitment to the Thursdays in Black campaign. This is a resolution that cites all of the other times that disciples have spoken out against gender-based violence, and it continues to call on us to commit to education and action around these issues. It also encourages folks to wear black on Thursdays.
And many disciples do this, and then they post an image on social media of themselves in black. Chris, you and I have both been in gatherings, either regional assemblies, trainings, retreats, where a whole bunch of disciples are wearing black on a Thursday, and they get together to take one group picture and then
I,
share it with resources.
in fact, I think recently DOM, the DOM board and General Ministry board posted Thursdays in Black group shot of all of them together in black. And these are powerful statements. When you make these kinds of posts, you can share the links, but you are also calling attention to the campaign and highlighting the experiences of victims of sexual violence.
We're going to give you the link for GA 2514. That's going to give you the shared language that we as disciples are using around this and the invitation for yourself to be a part of the campaign. We're going to share with you Global Ministries, Thursdays in Black resource page. It has ways that you can pray, ways that you can give, ways that you can learn in solidarity with this movement. And we're also going to share with you from the World Council of Churches, which has a page that is packed with resources. It's going to tell you things that you can use as a congregation or as individuals. It's going to give you a full history of the campaign. It's going to give you a list of ambassadors for Thursdays in Black who themselves give video testimonials about why they are a part of it. Also includes the Thursdays in Black pledge, has resources for youth, ways to engage. It is a rich resource and can be one of those things that when you post your picture on Thursday, you hit that link every single time as a part of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just such an important issue, Brian, and it's an important campaign for us all to participate in.
Amen.
I think that allows us to wrap it up for this edition. Now I've got some graduation, commencement, and hooding ceremonies to get to. And thank you so much for your time, and continue to struggle, continue to act, continue to use your voice. and let us keep this movement going.
Amen. Let's keep at it, friends.